Welcome back to another live trading session, traders. For the next session, for NY session, first day, second session, first week of the month, NFP week, and pretty exciting week. We just have secured a massive trade on gold just a few minutes ago. Now we wanna stay hungry, looking for more in this market here at the moment as the market is moving. So I would like to execute few more trades here with all of you guys in this live session. So make sure that you give a thumbs up. Starting another big nice trade earlier today. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, just so we begin, and as you can see that we had a incredibly high win rate, and you're gonna keep that, but always keep in mind that stay practical, stay always risk manage. Don't over risk for each trade. And Friday you guys saw that we had few losing trades and last week, and that might also come at any point. It doesn't have to be Friday, it can be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So we had a high win rate, but you can't win 100% of the time. That will defy the law of probability. So there will be some losing trade. You need to be able to make sure that you are not falling into with the one trade with in the emotion of greed, rather remain fully managed. And this is what we are looking at here in this live session. We will not only be analyzing the chart trading, but also will be working on if you look at that, we will be working on developing the trading psychology, understanding that where the market is going. So let's begin here analysis, and also we'll be looking at the previous session trade. That was a massive drop that you have seen, and now we will be looking at here in this market to see that where the price action might be heading, and we will be trading based on that. And say yes if you are here, or write something YNSPQRSZ, anything that you like, so that I know that your presence and ready for entry. Make sure you keep the lot size calculator, and that's what needed. Must be risk managed. Yes, thank you very much. Welcome. All right, cool. Let's look at here. Very good, thank you very much. Yep, ready for entry. That is awesome. So you are looking at here in this market, and we are ready for an entry in this market. We are looking for the multiple time frame analysis to see that where the market is heading. Cool. Very good. Thank you very much for confirming. And let's begin now. First of all, this analysis, and also we'll be looking at the previous trade, because as you have seen that I also look at the losing trades, do the full analysis on how the losing trade is doing. Also we will be looking at the winning trades to see that overall how the market is doing. So it's important that we journal also trade. If you look at that, we do journal each trade, and I believe that you guys also with it. So let's first of all look at the current market structure. I'm looking at the daily chart. Now we have seen that from the daily perspective, the market, this is the daily market structure that you can see. And of this daily market structure, looking at the monthly chart to see that where the price is heading. If you look at this monthly price action, this is the monthly resistance line that you can see here. And of this monthly resistance line, the previous months the price action closed, and I'm looking at, we know that we trade on lower time frame, but looking at the bigger picture will give you a clear directional bias in the market. So looking at the monthly price action here, and also looking at the previous monthly low at this level. So we can see that from the monthly perspective here on gold is the market rejected here on the monthly from this high that might take that price well below here. If you look at the weekly price action, that you can see from the weekly perspective that you can see the market also maintaining that downtrend. So if you look at from here, it's maintaining the downtrend here. So from the weekly as well, we can see that the market is in a downtrend. So you can see that from here, from this level, the weekly market structure on gold looks very clean to me. It shows that the market has gone for this golden ratio, that the Fibonacci pullback. So you can see that here, this is the Fibonacci from this high to this low, that you can see the market has reached that Fibonacci retracement, and off that Fibonacci retracement, that you can see the market from that level, that you can see that will start to drop here. So a move followed by this Fibonacci pullback, and you can expect now another move here on XAUUSD. So that means the market now is showing that deeper pullback. So if you look at the daily here on gold, that you can see from the daily perspective, this is the daily price action, that you can see this is the daily resistance where the market grabbed the liquidity and then drop to that zone, followed by this pullback, and you can see another drop and followed by this pullback here, that you can see the market has reached that support here, which is turning resistance to that daily 10 EMA, and this is the Friday's close the market has today. Once the price open, we can see the prices initially created a downside move. So going up here in this market can create here a potential selling pressure in this market. So from the daily also you can see the market is in a downtrend. Now here is the 1 hour price action. Now this 1 hour price action is important, and what I think that if you look at that the previous hour there was stronger liquidity sweep here, and that's where you have sold the trade, followed by we saw that there was a significant market break below, and with this significant drop back below from the 1 hour, the market has moved up again to do the pullback. So which is basically so far this 1 hour price action is still have quite a few long wick, and the market tested this here, that on 1 hour 10 EMA, and off that 1 hour 10 EMA the market may here break below. And what we can expect here, that the price action eventually to if you look at that this move from the now we drop to the 1 minute, because we saw the directional bias, which is very important to look at in terms of the higher time frame and the lower time frame price action. So you can see this is the 1 hour support, and this is also an important resistance line. The previous 1 hour doji, the market has gone up here, it gained momentum, and this momentum now might create for us to go for another entry, and this is what I'm looking at today. There is no schedule data coming, and this is the NFP week, and therefore this this high here is a crucial level, right? This is an order block, and it's a falling market, so therefore breaking below can create a significant entry opportunity for us to take this move here back in this instrument. So from the, if you look at this, we may be able to enter very soon an entry here. If you look at this, also the 4 hour level, which is the market has dropped well below. So what do you want to see, guys, here, that the market has overextended, got overbought, so that we can look for an entry for another sell here. Okay, so one thing that we need to keep in mind, there was a very sharp rejection. That's a, if you look at, this is massive rejection on this from the 1 hour. That means that there was a strong sell and also strong buying happened. So we need to keep in mind that when such a long candle created, also the price can go even higher before it reverses. So Therefore, I will be cautious on selling and also will be cautious on buying. Because the trend is down, we are looking for sell, but at the same time, there is a rejection from the lower time frame. So you need to look at the both direction, right and left always. Yes, the monthly and weekly looks bearish. Yes. So lower time frame, we are looking for a possible sell entry here. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so you can see that this usually, if you look at, this is a very massive break below here, right? That's a significant drop. Now the market is trending here. Now this trend even can cross that level, which not very unusual to see because there is a big drop here, right? And at some point, what we could see here, that we may see that another similar kind of drop, all right? And that drop can be a trend continuation or a reversal. So this is our current plan for the market to go up well above, so that we can look for potential. So far we are looking at sell. Now the previous sessions, if you looked at here, if you're in the premium, you already have seen that you have successfully secured the trade that on the premium group. This is also I have shared in the premium group. Once if you looked at that, for those who are in the premium group, I've shared with entry, stop loss and take profit target, right? This is what the key here, to look at the trade. And then now once we were on the live session during the London session live, and the entry was given with entry, stop loss and take profit. So the goal here of those trade, for those who are following, make sure that you always cross check with all the education that you can see at the top of the group, because one trade, two trades and multiple trades, you need to add up a lot of trade to make it consistent. That's where the key, guys. One trade, two trades not important. Consistency is the key. And first of weekly opening that you have got 130-40 pip, but the most you could take a big one, but I don't want to be deviating from the strategy by being too greedy. We have taken the trade, we have closed the profit. Now we can enter as many times as you want, but doesn't mean that we will be entering. Probably I told you a few times that the same analogy. I want to join the premium group, boss. Thank you. Currently, if you look at that, we had quite a few new members have joined, and each week we take limited number, because the results that you guys can see on the premium group is a verified group with verified members. But for those who want to join the premium group, probably you need to wait a little more time. Let's see that at the end of the week, we'll see that how many members getting expired from their subscription, and might, if they are on active, they are not active, there might be some new opening and you can join there. But at the moment, you can just follow all those analyses, all those strategies will give you also the opportunity to join the premium group. Probably need to wait a little bit on the wait list, let that opening happen, and then you can join anytime. As you guys can see that in this live session, whenever the opening, I directly take from here, from this live session. So don't miss out any live. At any point, whenever there is an opening opportunity, you can join there, right? And so let's keep now learning. Don't stop learning, keep growing as a trader. That's the key. So if you look at here on gold, now this trade that we have opened earlier from the breakout structure, right? Simple when also are we in FVG? I would say that not in FVG. Okay, if you look at that from the market now moving towards a liquidity zone, where do you want to see that the market to reach that liquidity zone? Still not in FBG. it's a trend trading, and we are waiting for the market to reach that key zone where there is a higher area of value, and that's what we are looking at here in this market. So you see, this is where the market is approaching, and here if you look at here, it created an inverted head and shoulder that might push that market up, and this is what you want to see. The market is we want to see the market has pushed up here, and then we can look for that entry accordingly. Would it be possible home to go up 4600 zone and then drop? I think that, if you look at the current key level is here, couple of key levels. So 468485 is a key level. Now we need to look at how the market is interacting to that level, right? So if you look at that, currently the market is maintaining this trend line, okay, and also there is another trend line here that you can see. If you draw, then you'll be able to see that. Okay, so this is another trend line that you can see here. Okay, so it created this triangular trend line, right? And with this trend line, the market has rejected. Now, what do you want to see here for? You see, one misunderstanding, not misunderstanding, that I would say that miseducation is that, let's say this is a support trend line, right? We have one trend line here, one trend line here. So the miseducation or the wrong education that I would say, okay, guys, I'm trading for now years and hours, thousands of hours. I was observing the chart. Everything that I'm discussing is the original education, and that's completely observe, and learn from a very different source. So keep this education for applying in anything. You see, in a traditional trading education, it is taught that break this resistance line, coming down, retest, buy, right? But in real market, you see that all those trades that I open, completely opposite. In my education, the market breaks this trend line, okay, wait to see what kind of structure it is forming. Once you see a bigger candlestick pattern, sell. Okay, and that's a massive area. In traditional education, here will be tell you to, once this break, then retest, sell. But in my education, once the market breaks this trend line, don't do anything, because this market is a falling market, right? And in that falling market, the only zone, the best zone, is to trade from here, from the top. Because more often, a market, if you look at that, 80 to 90% of the time, if not 90%, 80% of the time, the market will create a false breakout. That means you feel like this is a breakout, but it's just a false breakout. That means the market break this out and then return, okay, reject it back below. So then, how does the market in fact changes trend in those situations? For example, in what situation you should be buying this market? Should be buying this market if the market breaks the key trend line here and then create a reversal pattern for this move. The market does like this. Usually if it wants to change the trend, it's gonna go up and will drop here like that and will go up like this. Okay, so that's why breaking of this trend line will create more always look at the trend directional bias. That makes sense to you. That's cool. Thank you very much. Okay, so now the price is in this key zone here that you can see, and it's still lower time frame showing this in an uptrend. So 4 hour is important, because if you look at this intraday from the 4 hour chart, the market is showing this price action here in that area. So where you are looking gold ahead today. So also I would like to ask the same question, you know, that we asked in our previous session also with a pool. Now we'll be asking again the same question to the members. Now, by the way, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Now we'll be asking you the pool. So do you think that because there is a massive break below here, okay, to this level, market has gone back up again, do you think it's gonna be a reversal call, or you could see another drop back? I think the market may cross 4584 at the moment, or with this 1 hour, or before this or after this 1 hour candle close, and that could, or in that zone, that can create potentially further trading opportunity for us, either to the upside or downside. This is what I'm starting with a pool. So I've shared a pool here with all of you guys, so let me know. And we do have the pool helps to understand that what majority of them are thinking. Is it possible to reduce the music? Okay, no, absolutely possible. Always share your feedback. That helps to maintain the quality of the stream. Thanks for confirming. I think that's okay. Let me know if this this volume is okay. Sometimes, you know, the whole stream I alone maintain, because I want to make sure that it's quality maintained. Sometimes volume rise and then we get busy in trading and I do not reduce the volume. So feedback is important. Thanks for confirming. I guess it will break the trend line. Long wick on 1 hour means buyer are taking steps. Yeah, so far we can see that there is a buying pressure here. Reversal is helping. Yeah, so here still we can see that there is buying. If you look at that 1 hour, that you can see, this is the 1 hour price action, and there was I was looking at this candle, right? So this is nearly to, if you look at that, more than 380 hour candle. After this candle close above with this massive long wick, that flow could now trigger upside move, because, you know, understanding the market movement is very important from the price action, and from also we need to look at the geopolitical and also the sentiment, because the market is driven by sentiment, right? More often, you believe it or no, human being, anything else trading other than human being? Yeah, I think some artificial intelligence, but they are also made by human, right? So if you look at the human being is mostly driven by emotion, right? And the bringing that I'm bringing the brain is because it's the generator of emotion. So if you look at the brain, which is very important part of it, trading psychology, right? So you can divide it into 3 parts, right? This is the frontal lobe, which is the newest brain, I think it's nearly to 40,000, 50,000 years older. Before that was only this reptilian brain, right? The brain of crocodile and snake. So the midbrain, which is the amygdala and the limbic system. So this is mainly responsible for creating that emotion. And we constantly, that bombarded with emotion, overwhelmed with emotion. And where they come from, in fact, because we are connected, right? So emotion is like an entanglement. So you always entangle to it what is happening. You see that we live in the same world, but everyone is in a different stage, different levels. Depending on your emotion, you connect with the outer activities, with your inner emotion, right? What you are going through, you will be associated with the similar kind of event, what is happening out there. So that's called the association, right? What is inside is also reflecting outside. That's how everything works. So if you look at that, the emotion, right now, that midbrain generates that emotion, right? Now, because all our decision, most of our decision is influenced by the emotion we experience, but we justify most of the time for the outer phenomena. So therefore, sentiment is very important, because what is happening here is also some association we have inside us, and that's helping to move the market, or the market is helping to generate that emotion. So the other way around as well. So if you look at that current, therefore the emotion that we want to look at, sentiment, right? Where things are heading to. So if you look at here, two missile hit US. Okay, so there's I think that one created a huge spike in the market and still potentially be changing. Two missiles hit a US warship near Jack's Island after it ignored Iran's warning. Iran's influence. Okay. So what's that implication? And we can see that there is also scenarios. Officials denies as US ship was hit by Iranian missiles. So two things, but so because there is a disagreement, we don't know, but that's in fact here has really significant impact in the market. So okay, so I think there is another one in 39 minutes ago. This is the latest. Just go to CENTCOM. 2 US flagged merchant vessels have successfully transited through the Strait of Hormuz and are safely headed on their journey. Okay, so there is one US Navy guided missile destroyers are currently operating in the Arabian Gulf after transiting the Strait of Hormuz in support of Project Freedom. American forces are actively assisting for to restore transit of commercial shipping as a first step. So now looking at here, quite a few news that came one after the other. Okay, I think multiple times it was saying this didn't hit that vessel. Okay, so how does now the current market is trading based on what is what that big liquidity grab gold might rebound. Okay, so we can look at what is happening with the oil. Now this big liquidity grab, so if you look at this move, that was the news move, And oil is a very news sensitive, you know that. So we saw that there was a break above and now it's breaking below. And this move that you can see, as there was two successful shipping that was saying, I think that's created some the oil price that you can see is the result of it. Okay, that means the traders are interpreting that there might be easy passage or something is optimistic for the traders, and you see that here. And we can see that gold has broken back below with that news and now bounced back to the upside. So I'm now looking at the technical aspect of this market. So if you look at here, again start to move in that area, start to break below. There's a 1 hour candle close. Okay, so breaking is very important because you see that there's really significant move. Okay, now here already the market has had a break below, so it's showing that it's still in a downtrend on gold, and oil has pushed again back above, so there's something potentially coming up again. Do you know anyone what's happening? Suddenly we saw there is another break below. Okay, so I see that the pool is showing that there is still not too many boards, but it's still showing that bearish majority of them. And if you look at this zone here, the market is at the moment bearish. Okay, so we can see that again of this level the market has broken back below, and after this break below it's pushing high here. I think this first 15 minutes candlestick pattern that you can see has shown that downward bias. That means that we could still see that falling pressure here, and I would like to leave this level as this is the previous pin bar stop, which is potential an order block. You wanna see that trend coming down back below. Now the market is here putting pressure on the bearish side. Okay, so just observing the price, and suddenly there is a break below, and I'm waiting for anyone to write something here to see that what do you think. Suddenly gold has broken below, right? Is this again selling pressure, or do you think that it's a liquidity grip? What's your bias on that? Let's have a little louder music to see, and I will be bringing back again just to speed up the heart rate. Like pretty volatile the market is. Did you like the stream? For me, I will buy. Okay, let's go sell the market. Okay, quite a few like a different opinion. The market is in fact really crazy at the moment, and let's look at to see. So pretty bigger volatility that you can see. This 1 minute price action. This 1 minute candle is nearly to 92 pip more, which is I think more than 380 or more in this zone here. Just being patient is best idea during the time of high volatility. WTI made another move here. It made another move. I think you see that this doji doesn't look to me bearish here. WTI doesn't look to me bearish to me yet. Let's see that what happened. That's a massive move that you can see again. Thank you. Just had a short break for another move, and now the market is, if you look at here in this area, that is a, if you look at, that's a trend line here, right? And the price is slowly, I think now it's okay, isn't it? Or should I drop further? That's cool. Now you can see that here the market is breaking that trend line, right? Which is potentially to cross this high, and I think we might see now another 15 minutes is pretty long week. Back to back 2 long week candle. Now this kind of market happens, you see there is a 15 minutes pin bar. There's another one is also rejecting. What number are the ATR set at? 14. ATR is default 14. Usually we use the 14 period for the ATR move. Thank you. WTI. WTI here at the moment, technically we can see there was a breakout and that was again rejected. So now if you look at that, the 4-hour candle is still not closed, and how the 4-hour candle close will also determine the directional bias. Okay, we want to see that how the current the market reacts, because WT is more of news dependent than anything else. So you can see that this is a support which is potentially to retest and then to revert again back above. So if we see that WT has dropped to this daily support, we could see the market to have another reaction. Now depending on how this candle is closing, of course, and I think that if this one is closing as a big red candle, you still can expect further bias here to the upside, right? And like gold, now you see there is an upside move, so that might create again selling pressure. So you can see the 4-hour chart on gold, it's almost reached that 4-hour resistance line. That you can see the market has reached that 4-hour level of resistance, which is the sessions opening and also the sessions high. The market has reached that sessions high and sessions open, and with that sessions high and sessions open, the price action, are you in a consideration? We are getting bullish now. I wouldn't consider it still a bull market. I would consider it as a deeper pullback. So if you look at from here, since the market opened earlier, it's a complete one single move followed by this is still potentially a pullback. And if you look at the Fibonacci from this high to this low here, the market has reached to that Fibonacci level, which is the 61.8%. And with this Fibonacci pullback here, as the market has reached that Fibonacci pullback, that you can see this is the resistance, and we are looking at here the market to go ahead and hit that level and then to reject back again from that Fibonacci pullback. So if you look at that doji, you see this is the doji back to back 2, and that might trigger upside or it can entirely trigger downside. Both direction is still possible here. And now the market is in an increased volatility that I'm looking at here for this market structure to give us that the possibility for this entry. Okay, so breaking this red candle below is significant bearish price action here. Depending on how this candle close is important. You got the 15 minutes, also see that back to back 2 dojis, and If this one was closing back below as a bearish engulfer, that could create what I think that bearish pressure, but now we see that it even could move up further. USDJPY, we saw the previous session on USDJPY had from the 1 hour perspective on USDJPY, you can see the market has reached that resistance. So this is there was that past week there was a massive drop, and now it gone for an extended accumulation phase on USDJPY after this kind of if you look at that, after this kind of drop that you can see on USDJPY, there is a massive drop. It is unexpected to see the market to create this kind of sideways market, and that sideways market that you can see here, okay, which is that consolidation, and that consolidation might, what I think after this deeper liquidity, the market may break to the upside depending on how the price action is forming. So I'm not trading at the moment on USDJPY, is because I just looked at an entry but we haven't found it yet. So, and also with the WTI, currently the most volatile is WTI and XAUUSD, so we are on the most volatile one. USDJPY will prepare for another move because there was a massive move. We could see this market to go for an extended consolidation before it takes off again, right? While we are looking at also the gold, we have seen that gold, this is after multiple liquidity sweep here, the market now showing up that there is potential for a break below here. So if you look at the 5 minutes chart here as well, the market here, it's creating multiple false breakout and then trying to break that low here, right? So you can see that here, this is consolidation with series of lower high, and with this consolidation and also series of higher low, the market is in this narrow zone, which is an important area that we are seeing here in this market. And of that important zone with this narrow consolidation pattern that we are looking at here in this market, breaking any of this high and then to give us that entry. Now I'm still bearish on gold once we see any different sentiment in the market. Also keep eye on the breaking news. You guys see the previous session what happened. One news created massive move in the market. That's why it is so important that we keep all the clearer directional bias. So there is a 17 minutes ago, there is a news that come out that UAE issues potential missile threat alert. So UAE issues potential. So there is a missile threat alert from UAE as well. So let's see that where market can do. How to calculate lot in current situation. that's a very important tool. Okay. So here we are seeing that the market is in a very narrow range, and now I'm looking at this 30 minutes price action to see that if we have an entry. If we have an entry, are you ready for the entry? Make sure you always use the lot size calculator. Okay, now this is what we can see that in that area. Market is breaking out of that level. So with head and shoulder, the price action now showing that there is a higher possibility for a downtrend in this area. And because there is a higher volatility, we might need to keep a comparatively wider stop loss for any trade entry that you will be taking. So it's started to break that low after this long bearish price action, and if this market successfully break below, because there is a green candle here as well, 5 minutes, we can expect it to drop a lot. So you want to confirm that. First of all, we want to see that high possibility bearish move before we look at any entry, so that we have always a higher possibility for a trending move. welcome. So we look at here, traders, that the market is trying to break to the upside, and this is what we want to see, this kind of move, that initially the price to move up to any of this liquidity zone before it gets rejected back below here. So you look at the 1 hour here, we are almost in the first 30 minutes of this 1 hour candle, and I think you can see slowly it's trying to break. So once the market here gets successfully above this zone, we are looking at here in that area for this potential break below. So another 30 minutes candle closed, and with this candle closed, there you can see the market has shown that there is a significantly initial downtrending move, and this candle has crossed the previous dojis low. And what I think now, the price, if it goes up here for another in this area, the market showing there is a significant downtrend, so they're expecting this market now may have an extended move back below. So here the recent level of support, we'll be looking at entry after the price action confirmation in this area. So it's breaking that low now. You can see with the sessions volume for the NY session, the market had started to shows its movemental bias. I'll be using the market order for this price action once it successfully get the rejection. If you look at the 1 hour, that is showing that the market trend is bearish. Still, the sellers are highly in a selling pressure. Did you? No, not yet, not yet. If I'm selling, I'll let you know, guys. You'll see that signal here. If I'm selling, I'll let you know. And I'm just. You see, the right trade comes when we opened our previous one after waiting 2 hours that I took the trade. So it's important that we always wait for the right opportunity to come. The price now at this order block, right? You can see that this is the 1 minute order block. So the market reacting to that level is important to see. Okay, so it's just pushing up again. So important that you always keep eye for all the updates and all the market potential movement. So it might just go up to price is going back the 1 hour resistance. So if you look at here, this is where there is a downside that we can see, and off that level the market has here, that if you see that this is a the market is moving potentially to deeper liquidity zone, and we might bring a new selling opportunity for us, as this is still, I will consider that it's still in a downtrend. Look at this is the 1 minute chart, and also showing up that the price action might be showing that pressure. We want to see that the price has moved up here to this liquidity zone. So you can see here, it's, I think this was potentially a false breakout in that area, and so with this movement here, see the 5 minutes slowly trying to break that low. Okay, so we see the price action here pushing higher from the 1 hour near to the candle close, and with the 15 minutes price action close as well, that you can see the price action is trying to break this high. And if you look at here, back to back two rejection, and I think the market try to go up further from this, and that can create selling pressure, because this market is in a long-term downtrend and we don't want to buy that. And at the same time, we see there is a rejection of this support that might goes for another wave of pullback here with the 1 minute. Okay, so there is a rejection that we can see, another 1 minute price action that has created that pressure here. And with this 1 minute price action close, that let's say that how the price action creates the structure in this area. If you look at that levels here, the market structure shows that there is multiple rejection of this level. So we'll be looking at entry. First, we want to see the directional bias. Okay, so we see that if you look at here in this area, that you can see the market has created a dynamic level of resistance line, all right? And with this dynamic level, I'm deleting all those levels in even the previous trade, and I think we might be able to find a potential entry here in this area that could create that pressure. And this is 15 minutes price action that you can see, and we want to see the market to eventually here, but we can see that going above this level. So I think we might be able to find a sell entry that I'm looking at to see confirmation. Lower time frame price action is highly bearish here at the moment. There's a dynamic resistance line. So if you look at, you see that there is a consolidation in this area, which is after this break. This is a kind of flag pattern that you are seeing here. And that flag pattern that you can see the market, but I think that potentially to break above here, or without break, there might be that selling pressure here. And so you see this is dynamic level of resistance line. The price is slowly moving in a sideways. I'm preparing for an entry, and I guess you guys also there. If you look at the 1 hour close, and with this 1 hour close, that expecting this market to remain in a trend. So Okay, so with this this is a flag pattern, and of this flag pattern the price action has shown that downside move. And I'm looking at here, guys, this is the lower time frame price action. After this break, the price action now started to lower here further back below, and okay, so before the 1 hour candle close, you want to see that break back to the upside. This is what I was waiting for, entire break above before you look for sell. And so you see there is a triple bottom, you could see that move up. If that happens, that's where you will see that high probability sell entry. That's 1 minute candle is more than 100 pips. Yeah, this is what happened. There was a significant move that you have seen on the 1 minute that has created this downtrending market. So if you look at here the price action, if you the market is slowly creating that upside bias. And okay, we are almost nearing to this 1 hour candle close, and here now the market is slowly creating that bearish move, and I'm prepared to enter an entry here. You can see series of lower high. This is the 15 minutes price action, and here I will be looking for sell entry, keeping the stop loss above the 1 hour red candle, which will be approximately 161 pip, with of course with full risk management, definitely. And you will be targeting to the 50% of this previous 1 hour candle. So you will not go for a very long TP target here because the market had a rejection before. It is not unusual to see that another rejection. So it's gonna be trend trade with one-on-one, and we can see that some kind of upside before we enter, which will give us some edge here for this entry. Stop loss above the previous session's high, and also prepare to take losing trade if needed, because anything can happen. So I'm just keeping the full risk managed strategy here with a stop loss keeping at 4576.80 TP target below here, and so place that entry with this risk managed setup. So looking forward to see the market to here to reject. If the successfully done, we are on the trade. It's not a pending order, it's a market order. Anytime the market can go to break that resistance, if it does, then it does. We'll be taking the loss. This is a very tight stop loss here. I'm using only in this trade 136 to 38 pips stop loss, which is very smaller in comparison with this move. So I'm short on gold and looking forward to see this market to break this support here and then to continue to trend back in the major flow. This is also the 4-hour candle close, and I think that sessions close might try to trigger a bias here upside. So going to see this market to give us a move back down here, nearly at least to 100 pip, can create that pressure back down below. So the candle closed on the 4 hour, and so we've traded the trend. Now here in this area with this trending move, they're expecting it to fill that zone. Now if the market shows very strong bias, we'll see that. In case, then we'll be managing the trade accordingly here. So far that looking to see that for the market to maintain its downtrend 4 hour candle close here, and so you can see some, I think there might be some kind of false break in this area if you look at the 1 hour here in that zone. So this liquidity sweep here, the 1 minute. Okay, creating some false break below, so you want to see that. And okay, so move down back here, and with this move we see that downside move back below to this liquidity zone. And now this trade I'm running in profit, and I might not run too long. We will be taking the profit here very soon, because there is a potential for another wave of retest here. So this trade currently running in, and I'm running in, we want to take a significant move back below, and then once we see that the price has moved well below here, and I'm closing the trade right now, there is a potential for an upside retest, so I'm going out with the trade. I've taken the profit now, and I'm sharing in the premium group. I'm not very fan that this market might go a lot, Instead, what you could see here, I'm out with the running trade with this around 40 pip. The market might come here, and this trade, this market, if you look at this 1 hour, but I think that there is a potential for an sideways move, that the price might try to go back again. So I am out with this trade with the running profit, and we'll be re-entering again. Keep winning, that's the goal here. And I have closed that trade with this current running profit around, I think, $400. So which is I'm up with this trade nearly to 30 pip. Yeah. Okay. I've been got out with this trade with the running profit, and what you could see here, that the market extend back below and then to go again back here. So from that perspective, I'm out, because it's the first day of trading, and I want to keep that winning streak on for our next trade as well, which might be coming soon, coming shortly here. And I guess you are excited with those trades that you are opening. So yes, if you're excited, and if you want to take the next trade soon, shortly, once we see a bit of better directional bias. The reason I am out, I'm explaining now. Okay, it's very important that we know every reason for each trade. You see, this is a downtrend. It might drop well below here. That's fine. This is in the direction. But what happened, that if you look at the 4 hour, there is an extended, elongated long wick on the 4 hour time frame that you can see here in this market. And what we could see, that after pullback to certain level, the market might, if you look at that, push up again. Now this move can still come back where we set our profit target. All right, it can come back to our profit target, or it can go back again and then continue to drop. So exit is to maintain that confusion that I have, is not to go back again to the stop loss and just reducing our win rate. So that's why I have opened and closed that profit. But I would like to see that what's your status with this trade. We are now at Friday low. Yep, this you can see in this area. And if you look at the 30 minutes here, that you can see the market is in this trend. Let's see how we'll perform at this level. Yep, I don't like the market structure right now. There is no clear direction on the lower time frame, and scalping will be quite difficult. Yes, we see the trend is down. All right, now the thing is that it still can come down, but we see that from the 4 hour there is a long rejection, and usually when you see that such a long rejection, the market is still can come entirely feel that weak, or it can fill some part and then can bounce back up again. So you see it's a drop here that we are seeing, but that drop might, if you look at that, come back to this support and can move up again for another bounce here back. Now, what's happening with the current sentiment in the market? We can see that this is an FP week, and I'm looking forward to see that quite a few trades open just to begin this week. And with tomorrow, 3-4 high impact news on AUD cash rate, RBA policy statement, RBA rate statement, and RBA press conference. So those will definitely have significant move in the market on gold and also AUD USD, followed by, if you look at that on this in NY session, we'll see the 2 high impact news also coming on ISM service PMI as well as JOLTS job opening. So those also will have the market moving, and like to see that what is happening on the market besides our trade. I guess you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for that. And you can see it's now pushing here back above, and this pushback might take that market again back to the 1 hour level. And so you can see that move back up here in this area. The big red candle in the 1 minute time frame has been neutralized now by 3 candles. It seems undecided whether to go yet. So in those situations, you know that what the market usually do is, it can happen or can be happen differently. So if you look at here, there is a one move, and I'm looking at this 1 minute. With this move, the market has created this high, followed by this drop here, and followed by a high, right? So you can see the market may come to this support, create a new lower low or higher low, and it can try to go back again here. And that is where the thing can happen. So because there was a stronger rejection, so you can see that this is a very strong rejection from this low here, right? And the market straight may not come back here, which is difficult for the market to do normally in those situations. So you know that the market, like the energy, right? Energy follows the path of least resistance. Like the market also follow the path of least resistance. It's like the human brain. So we have brain, right? Also, and that's why you see that sometimes changing some of the habit pattern also become difficult, is because of the energy flows the path of least resistance. Because you see that we have the neuron in our brain, okay, and anything that we do, think, even act, creates a neuro connection, okay, and that neuro connection is actually energy channel, right? It's the pathway to where the energy flows. So you have physical body, and also if you go to the subatomic level, right, go everything to the most fundamental level, you'll see that only flow of energy, right? There's nothing else. It's the scientific, for those who love science. So now what happened, when you go to that subatomic level, is energy. The properties of energy is that it only can do only one thing. It can vibrate with a different rate of frequency, right? And how do you know? If you look at the molecule, so look at the atomic model. There are two of them. One is Rutherford and the other one is Bohr's model, right? Rutherford atomic model says that each electron rotates and then emit energy, dissipate, and slowly collides into the nucleus. So it's that model doesn't survive, is because if that happens, that ultimately the electron and the atoms disappear, but energy cannot be destroyed. So the Bohr's model is based on the orbital, right? So orbital is where there is a probability of the electron exist in a cloud format, right? So what is the probability of finding the electron on a specific zone, right, that exist in a cloud format, in a probabilistic form? So that means at the same time it can exist everywhere, but if you take a contour map, then it's gonna be based on the probability 40%, 50%, 20%, 30%. So it exists everywhere at the same time, but with the probabilistic equation. So that's how where there is a higher, so when the energy, the electron gets more and more vibration, it just jump from one orbital to the other. So each orbital has, that means that higher energetic state, lower energetic state. And if you look at that, is sometimes called the lower, the emotional state, right? Fear, greed, and other emotions that usually in a lower orbital. So if you vibrate with higher orbital, so you just jump onto a different timeline, different dimension, right? you're remaining the same place but going to a different state of being, which is then you correspond to that lifeline. So that manifests in our brain, right? So if you look at that, the neuron connect to each other and then creates a particular energy timeline, which is where every time it flows in that direction. But it's sometimes called the whirlpool, right? In a specific thinking, acting and feeling and then creating the same experience. But if you want to change that, you can do it just like that by changing how you think. And then some people creates a very dynamic way of thinking, so you can anytime think completely different and become everything different. You can break that cycle and then create a new one. So the market also follow the same kind of thing. You see that for the market to drop here is difficult, but going back here is easy because it follows the path of least resistance. So when the market goes above and create an overextension in that level where you move up and then come on, so you can see the market, you're pushing towards that high, and then if you look at that, once it goes above this level it becomes overextended, right? And then it creates selling pressure again in that zone. So that being said, we are waiting for further entry, but we have successfully closed that, and I know that there was a possibility for this move and I've taken that. I guess you guys also have taken that. I don't want to run that because there was a potential for a move. All right, so has broken above here in this area, and delete the whole thing. Can delete that. See, this became fresh, right? It's a new chart now, and we are looking at the fresh perspective. And the market has in fact now broken above. The 4-hour level is broken, that you can see from this support. And this move was almost very predictable, that you can see in that area that happened. And that is where the support level. And you can see the market off this support breaking back to the upside here, which is approaching that key resistance line where there is a liquidity, and this move can now go potentially a lot. If you look at the Fibonacci from this high to this low here, also you can look at the Fibonacci and you can see it's approaching that 50%. There's also the 61.8%, which is the golden ratio, and that golden ratio is important to look at for any potential rejection. Back to back 4 candles equally bounce off this level, so this is a key important support area that we might see the market now going up. But this move, that I would say, it will create a potentially another sell opportunity, because I am still on the sell side. Are you buying or selling on gold? So it just has extended above, that you can see, reach that order block. not be surprised to see the market to go here, that well above. So I'm preparing for possible further move, and you can see that from this support it finally has gone back to that resistance line where there is a higher area of value, and off that zone this is a big move that you can see here. And short, and gets ready for that another move being, we had if you looked at that was pretty big move earlier. So there is another 30 minutes candle closing, and this is a pretty big long doji that you can see. The market is now closing here, and this price might trigger further what I think that potential liquidity sweep, which is possible to happen. because the 30 minutes closing, you can see that though it crossed this high, grab the liquidity, but we see back to back 3 rejection here. So not unusual to see that going back again. But if it finally, you know, multiple time retest and then return back down here, all right, if it reject back below here, that is where we are looking at this market to give us a high probability trade setup. And but you want to see that here to happen in this area. So what I'm looking at here, we see a couple of more market rolling news. So this is what we can see here, a potential for break of this resistance line in this area. So we need to wait here, guys, for this move to happen. And if you look at here, you can see that the market is trying to push up here. So I'm deleting all those levels. What the plan could be here for me is, if you look at the 4-hour here, that you can see the price might reach this support and resistance. There is a doji here, right? So from the intraday, the price action now moving here upside, that could retest that zone and even extend beyond before it take off again back below. So I'm still sell. If you look at the daily here, that you can see the market might be going up further here to the daily price action. And even, you know, I will not be surprised to see that the market is going back to this daily level here, daily resistance line. And off that daily resistance, the price may get that rejection back below in that area. And that can be a very good area that you can look for here in this market. So I'm looking at for further entry later today. And any trade that I'm sharing also sent out in the premium group. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can do so. I'm coming on live every day twice, and also from this live session whenever it's available, in the premium group you guys can join, that you can see, and where I'm sharing everything, that every details of the trade that I'm sharing every single day. So thanks for joining here, and we'll be again looking for more trade coming later today. And also there is any trade that I'm opening, also sharing the analysis, so don't miss out that one as well. Thanks for joining here, and I'll see you again very soon trading live. Until that, stay well, stay happy.